might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Monday, March 25th, 2024. We are almost at the end of March. We're like, 6 days left in March? It's like the month just started. It's like the year just started. But if you do not know who I am your host of the show and of the channel. I am Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. This is the Coffee and Kata Show, and we are going to be working on our Flutter mobile development today. And let me just do one quick thing. Cool. All right, so we are going to start off with our news to get started. And before we do that, let me go ahead and let me start up the app in the emulator so we don't have to wait a long time to do that. That way we can just jump right into what we're working on. All right, so perfect. So now by the time we get to actually testing the app, it'll already be up in the emulator. We don't have to waste a bunch of time. But we're going to jump into the news first. We have our candid conversation coming out at noon today, so definitely want to tune in to check that out. And we will be doing our Q&A show tomorrow night at around 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. So you definitely want to tune in for our Q&A as well. Looking forward to seeing you there. But let's jump into our news. Let's not waste any more time. And the reason that I'm starting a little bit late, I was hanging out with Joseph and Trey on the Tech Niche Tips channel. Very fun conversation. We're talking about dev and AI. We're talking about TikTok ban. We're talking about NVIDIA. So many different things. Great show, great channel. Definitely want you to check that page out as well. They are more on the tech sales side, but it's all related. It all works together. So definitely check it out over there and tune into their show as well. All right, so let's jump into the news. All right, so let me see if I can zoom in one more into this. Nah, leave it like that. All right, so the first article for today says AI has an energy problem. The explosive growth of artificial intelligence is also putting a fresh strain on the power grid, reports the Wall Street Journal. The data center supporting AI projects requires massive amounts of electricity to operate, leaving tech and utility firms in a pickle. Many have made commitments to reduce emissions, suggesting clean energy sources are the solution, but rapidly increasing demands and concerns around reliability are making them look to fossil fuels per a recent conference. Okay, so here comes the showdown. AI or clean energy? We shall find out. Because we always hear about how much they want to ban. They want to ban the fossil fuels and things like that. So that's going to be an interesting battle. AI or clean energy? Why not both? Electricity used from data centers, AI, and cryptocurrency could double by 2026. So in less than 2 years, it can double, according to the International Energy Agency. So, and if anyone is familiar with like the crypto mining and stuff like that, it takes power, it takes energy to run these data centers. So and the more use of AI, the more use of energy that's going to be needed, of electricity. So it's going to be an interesting battle to see how that goes down. Which side are you going to fall on? Are you going to fall on the side of AI and advancing technology, or are you going to fall on the side of the the clean energy, the climate debate, stuff like that? So that's gonna be an interesting uphill battle to find out. All right, let's move on to our next story. Stellantis cutting 400 U.S. jobs. I mean, when you think about 400, it doesn't seem like it's that huge, but let's read it. Let's dig into it to see what's going on. Stellantis is announcing another round of layoffs. So that means there was more layoffs before, and didn't they just agree to a deal with the union? So it's like every single time with these companies, as soon as the union comes to an agreement, then there's layoffs. Is that part of the deal? Stellantis is announcing another round of layoffs as it gears up to launch new electric vehicles in the U.S. by the end of the year. The parent company of Chrysler says the move effective March 31st will affect 2% of its U.S. engineering, technology, and software divisions, or roughly 400 workers. So, and this is interesting because usually it's not the engineering and the technology that's being targeted, but now this is directly affecting the engineers, like those who actually build the technology. So I wonder if they're going to be outsourced to another country to be taken care of. Stellantis says the layoffs are aimed at keeping the company focused on auto industry faces. Stellantis says the layoffs are aimed at keeping the company focused on the auto industry as the auto industry faces heightened competitive pressure globally. Separately, the automaker is recalling a total of 318,000 Dodge and Chrysler sedans worldwide to replace side airbag inflators, which can rupture and potentially hurt passengers. So tough news for Stellantis, or for the Stellantis employees. But I mean, at the end of the day, these auto manufacturers, it sounds like it's just a losing battle, to be honest with you. The unions have them by the you know what, and every time they come to an agreement, right after that, you see layoffs happening. So gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Let's take this one as well, and then we're gonna get to our numbers. I didn't even put up my timer today, but whatever. We don't need the timer today. So home buyers still face rocky road. Says home buyers are rejoicing after the National Association of Realtors settlement, but experts warn that it may be too soon for celebrations, Bloomberg reports. While the Biden administration believed the agreement could save buyers and sellers upwards of $10,000, high mortgage rates and lack of home affordability have left the housing industry in a precarious time. Industry experts predict a gradual change to commission at 4% to 5%, depending on the home price and location, leaving sellers with the most gains. Sellers never lose. The impact on home prices will be small, says Moody Analytics chief economist Mark Zandi. The real estate industry should prepare for new technology to reshape the agent's role, thanks to the NAR settlement, which could bring on more simplified technology consumers can do themselves, according to CNN. And the whole thing with the whole realtors thing, a lot, like, I don't know, it's kind of weird because in order to sell a house, you need to go through a realtor, and in order to buy a house, you need to go through a realtor. When you're just like a middleman of like, why is all this actually necessary? But as technology grows and as the laws continue to change and advocacy happens, this might be changing. So we shall see. We'll figure it out. We'll see what's going on. But let's get to our numbers for the week, and then we're going to get into working on Flutter. All right, so last one, the numbers to watch this week. So inflation will take center stage again this week when the Commerce Department releases its price gauge for February. We're almost in April, and we're talking about February. The Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, excluding volatile foods and fuel costs, which to me are always like the most important things that they're excluding, showed a monthly increase of 0.4% in January, up from 0.1% in December. The index, the preferred measure of the Federal Reserve, rose at a 2.8% pace from a year earlier, slightly slower than the previous month. The Fed, which targets an annual rate of 2%, last week left its key interest rate unchanged at a 23-year high in a continued effort to rein in price increases. So, today, Monday, March 25th, we shall be looking for the U.S. Census Bureau will release the number of new home sales in February, which are key housing market indicators. Tuesday, tomorrow, March 26th, the Census Bureau will release its monthly report on durable goods orders, which measures manufacturing activity. And the conference board will release its monthly consumer confidence survey, which measures how optimistic how Americans feel about the economy. And then we have Thursday, March 28th, the U.S. Labor Department will release initial jobless claims for the previous week. The report, a proxy for layoffs, tracks the number of people filing for unemployment benefits. The Bureau of Economic Analysis will release revisions of gross domestic product during the fourth quarter. And the University of Michigan will release its final reading of March's Consumer Sentiment Index, which measures how Americans feelings again, about current and future economic conditions. And then lastly, on Friday, March 29th, the U.S. Department of Commerce will release the February Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, the Fed's preferred inflation measure. The report measures changes in the price of goods and services, excluding food and energy. So that is our numbers to look out for this week. That is our news for today. Let's get back to full screen. And we can throw up on the clock, let's throw up and we shall do, let's do 20 minutes today. We will do a 20 minutes of working, and then we'll get back to it on Wednesday and spend maybe a little bit more time on Wednesday. All right, let's go. All right, so 20 minutes up, and I have the application started. I'm going to share the screen in just a second. All right, so application is started. We have the calculator. I wonder if I can. All right, we have the calculator. That is huge. Okay, whatever. So we have the calculator, and where did we leave off last week? So we wanted to test that the fields, when you dismiss the alerts, we want to make a test that the fields are set to 0. So not when we clear the field, but when we enter a number that is too big. And our number that we're using is 10 billion. Uh, 1 billion, one. All right, so emulator is running a little bit slow today, but we have this. So when we click on dismiss here, sorry for the blurriness of this, but when we click on dismiss, so it's doing it, but we want to make sure that all these are being reset to 0. So what we can do is take from, minimize this. We can take from existing tests. We can take all of this. Let's say we take all of that. And at some point, we will do some type of refactoring to clean it up. But we take this code right here. And if we get rid of this, So pretty much what we're saying is, after we clear this, and we have to actually click on the, okay, we did do that. So we tap dismiss, then we have to find these fields and make sure that they are going to be 0. So that is going to take care. Okay, so yeah, so we should have everything. So if we run this test over again, so this should make sure that all the fields do get reset to 0 and the input field is blank. And by doing this, like I've explained before, this is what's going to give you the confidence that when you make changes, that your and test pass perfectly. It's going to give you the confidence that your application is working as expected, and that's and you need that confidence, because if not, you can end up making a break something in another spot. So that's why, like me being in QA, that's why I focus so much on getting these tests run, these tests completed. We haven't had to worry about our unit tests because the backend logic is, the calculations are working as is, but the front end, and this is more related to like maybe some type of our automated tests, but we're doing widget tests here, where we're making sure that when you do different actions in the actual app, that the expectations of, when you dismiss it, that everything gets reset, things like that. We're making sure that those are being taken care of. So this test, I would say, is done now. And what we're doing here, we're validating that once you hit the dismiss button, the input field for the total annual income, which we can look at over here, this is cleared, right? It's empty, and that these fields get reset. Do and it should probably, it'll it should let's say, let me see, if we put in, let's say 200 in here. Mm, I have to I have to double check this part. It's going so slow on the emulator today for some reason. So let's see. But what I'm thinking is, even if you were to reset, if this gets reset, you don't want this to be reset. You don't want this to be reset. Because the well, no, the time. Okay, I take that back. The time should get reset, but this, like the total amount of hours shouldn't get reset, and these fields should not get reset. But when you actually enter the information up here, then it should also start to do the calculations down here. So if we were to go here, because this might also be a problem. Okay, no, that's good. And let's say we do. Okay. So, okay, that makes that does make sense because if this was 0, right, then there's no cost by putting in here. So that's correct. But here, okay, so let's try this. Okay. And we dismiss that. And if we scroll down over here, let's say this is like 500. And what you're seeing here is like just my mentality when I'm testing different things out. And we go here to so we go here, and that's like that. And we go here. So so this field right here, we wanted to. So I'll make a note of this, but this is going. I'm not going to work on this now, but we would want this to reset based on these two fields, not on like resetting the whole entire thing. But that's a minor thing to figure out. What I'll do is I will create a to do in here. But that is how we figure things out, right? So we're gonna say to do don't reset the money made / spent field complete because, and we'll create a story for that later. Because the there might be valid data. Let's leave it. I'll understand what that means. Okay, so what we also want to do in that case, now that that's done, we want to say, all right, we want to add the. Let me go pull up the Jira board. All right, so if we go over here and we look at what we have here, I think this one. Well, I guess we don't have tests for this yet, so we can add tests for that. Let's see. So we want to do add the X button to clear the input field. Let's see. All right. So let's move that. Limit users to 10 billion. All right. So what we can do, I think is this. But the only reason that this isn't done yet is because of that. I'll create another story for that actually. Let's move this over here. And now the X button. So let's do some research on Flutter X or close icon. How to add a close icon to a container Flutter. Let's see what this is right here. I don't want to close, but I just want to, let's see, X icons. That's not what I wanted. I want a circle with an X in it that indicates clear the field. So what we can do is, all right, let's look for Flutter clear input field with button. All right, let's see that one. How to add a clear button. So yeah, that's what I want right there. This is what I want. So is there a proper way to add a clear button to just like the picture from material design guidelines? What I found is to set a clear icon button in the input directories is um, so there we go. Yeah, that's what I want. So create a variable var controller text editing controller and text field controller underscore controller decoration input. Okay, suffix icon. Okay, so we need a suffix icon. Let's try to add that suffix icon to, I guess we can do it on we can start it off on the hourly, or not the hourly, but the total annual income one. So let's give it a try. 4 minutes left. We'll see what we can do on that. Typically, I would want to do the test first, but I just want to try it out, and then we can always rip it out, write the test, and then get back to it. So let's go to total annual income field, text form field. Let's drop this down for a second. And we should be going to this one. So much code. This is definitely going to have to be a lot cleaner. But let's go to so somewhere in here. Okay, so there we go. See where I want to drop this. Let's add a decoration. Okay, so let's just try to start it right here. Just to suffix icon. And we're going to say icon button. Okay. Icon. Icon. Okay. And then on pressed. And we want to clear your total yearly income controller. Clear. Why? Let's see. Should be on the same level, yes. Maybe I have to move it down because it's not in the code yet. I don't know.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Unpressed. Let's see. I don't think this is going to matter, but let's just move it up to the top. Let's see. Dot. Something is not. Let's see. So text editing controller. And in your text field, we would have controller.clear. I don't know why that's not working. Icon got removed. So seeing this, we could do something a little like this. Where's the error? So instead of going here for now, what we can do is go like that and print should clear total annual income field. Invalid constant value. icon button. Input decoration. Oh, interesting. So let's do a quick search for that. On press. Oh, okay. So the is the constant keyword. All right. So if we were to, let's say we just undo all of this and we go back to our clear and we remove this and we would probably end up adding the const on that. That's one thing I need to figure out a little bit better, like the whole constant thing and when it goes there and when it doesn't go there. We have that const over there, put a const over here. All right, so now if we were to run this again, should relaunch the app. And we should get a little icon. Look at that. Boom. You make it bigger. So we have our little X here. And if we say 1, 0, 0, if we click this clear button, will it clear out? Oh, nice. But we're also going to have to do the same thing where on the on pressed is going to have to take care of all of this stuff too. So we'll probably like just have to create a method or a function to clear out these fields. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is over here. So we do 5000 and we clear and we have our clear button. But we are going to have to add in we're going to have to add in these controllers as well to reset to 0 like we have with the other ones. So we'll figure that out. So the same way that we have this over here, we're going to have to call in this set state into here as well, wherever we have it. But we do have our clear button and it is working. It's just not clearing. It's just not doing the reset stuff. So what I'm going to do is just going to put a to do in there. On the press, on press, clear and to do. This also needs to reset the state of the hour, minute, second values to 0. And there we go. That's what pretty much that's what we have to do. So we have the clear working properly. We just need to do this reset, which and yeah, cool. So we have like a little different little statements in here. And we're going to eventually get rid of this. And And all of this is, get rid of this right here. And this state is being set for onChanged. I'll probably just dump this in here, to be honest with you. So until we get it like a little bit cleaner, we can just go up to I have to set state. So on pressed in parentheses and then open up the quotes. Let's try this really, really quick, and then we'll go from there. Let's go to that, like that. Let's try that. We don't need this dialog box. Try that really quick, and then we'll wrap it up for today. Just curious. Time I just can't help myself. All right, let's see it reset. Is it running? All right, our restart is happening. We are going to, oh, that's not good. Oh, we had some type of error here. Okay, so here, one more time. And the issue that we saw earlier is from this over here. We don't want this to be exactly reset, but we want the calculation to happen, but we'll figure that out after. Let's see if we get started here. Performing hot restart. All right, there we go. So if we were to add in here 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we clear this, but the field did not get, so this got reset, but this did not get reset, which is not what we want. So it's probably, this needs to be outside of the set state. One last quick time, and then we're done. Then we are done, I promise. need to this one. All right. Application should be restarted. Okay, so now if we do 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we clear this out, this should be back to 0, and this should be to 0 as well. Nope. So, all right, something to figure out. We got this working, but for some reason, this isn't being set back to 0. So I'm gonna wrap it up, but I have an idea of what the problem is. I think we probably need to just set a value on this unchanged. Yeah, we'll figure that out. No biggie. Gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in. Hopefully you got some kind of mindset into just the approach to testing, the approach to the approach that I take to building this application. This is like mobile development is new for me, and just the approach to testing it as well. So trying to do it with the test-driven development, trying to do it with the widget testing, all of that, trying to bring it together. Hopefully that you found it helpful and informative. If you have any thoughts or questions, do not hesitate to drop me a comment. But gonna wrap it up. Let's go back to full screen. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a great rest of your day and a great week. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night live for our Q&A. And definitely tune in to the Candid Conversation coming out at noon Eastern time today on the Tech Coach Ralph channel. But I'm getting out of here. If you haven't done so already, do me a big favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live. And on that note, this is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.